I don't want to ask the ordinary questions, but I will. I'm going to ask the most ordinary question. How did you feel when you heard that they'd selected Heroes by Night to be the winner of last year's contest? Was it all good, or was there also a bad time?
I was excited just to know I was in the top 50 going out there. So So I mean, and then it was like different levels. Because once you're in the top 3, then you knew you were picked by.
That's right.
All the industry, and later to find out that like all the judges, pretty much hands down, were blown away with every single one. That just like melted my mind a little bit.
It's a good feeling.
Just to recognize that like maybe I did put something original together that was kind of cool concept that put a new spin on it.
Totally.
Very rewarding to know that it was worth doing.
Now, what were you or are you doing at the time that is not comics related?
What was I doing at the time?
How were you earning a living?
I was actually doing a webcomic. I've been doing a webcomic for a few years, and I figured out a way to, my audience grew to a certain point where I was able to sell my own advertising. So
that's not bad.
Yeah. So so lucky me, I would take money and take the ad money. I would print out my own books through print on demand.
This is the comic?
Yeah.
Ah.
And I put this on my website.
How do you say that?
Your mama.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Your mama.
And it was mostly just pop culture.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it on Uncut. Some of it's up there.
You good? We needed to know real quick what's going on with the books.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. This is all good stuff. We love it.
They got a cash box there.
They're on their way. And then you hear he's over 10. He's over 3. Straight 10, straight 3. No sense 10.
Right.
And the other ones, they arrived at the office for the printer this morning, so they'll be here shortly. I'm just going to have to on here. 1 or 2 of them. Yes. Supposed to be here. And then tomorrow, I have a third person. Okay.
This will end soon. I know. You're using up all of your stuff. But it's okay.
Well, 3 people said
They can't talk about this forever. At least I hope not.
Your mama book? Just the notable section? I don't want to mix them, Alright, that's cool. I only brought 2.
Is he going to let you play that?
Yeah, I imagine they would.
I'll sanction them. I'll wave a magic wand over them.
I was in a mix because you saw Superman versus Jesus.
No, I didn't.
This is a more serious.
Yeah,
I didn't want to have
I may have to get a copy of that myself today. Holy smoke!
But so you can see I'm trying to.
See why you're a little bit circumspect about that.
So
we have our other merchandise under the table here. That's right, exactly.
But yeah, so as the hits grew with that, the audience went up to on really steady times where I was doing like a bag of jobs, like 20,000 unique visitors a day. So that, and then the page views were, I don't know, we did between 2 to 3 million a month, and I was selling those reasonably. So I figured out a way to
make money,
sell those, and I would take that money and use it as printing money, sell the books and distribute them myself, and just.
You were making a living in comics.
Yeah, I wasn't really.
It wasn't like you couldn't go to the Bahamas on a trip.
I could not probably alone support my wife works. I couldn't alone support my family on it.
It was an aggregate thing.
Yeah, it was nice that it would actually produce the books and produce more fans, and I really liked that. And then when Comic Book Challenge came along, it was kind of like, I'm going to try this out. I've got this idea on the back burner that's more serious. I think I'm going to give it a shot.
And you've been working on it up till then. You had a clear idea of characters and what the sort of business was going to be in it.
Yeah, in 2003, I was going to, instead of launching the Your Mama, I was going to launch the superhero book because I thought there are no superhero webcomics. There are not. A lot of them, there were like some amateur efforts that were like pieced together and things, but it just seemed like nobody was taking superheroes seriously in the online comics world.
I agree.
It also seemed to me like Marvel and DC, while they have previews of Spider-Man and Superman and things, they could, why don't they have a Spider-Man webcomic that's original? So I thought...
Well, we all know that Stan Lee and Oh, what was it? John Romita Jr. or John Romita did Spider-Man as a comic book, or as a comic for the daily newspapers for a good while, and it was okay.
Yeah, that was different.
I know, very different.
Yeah, I was always confused how these big companies didn't have a way to put out the original content. And if I could do it as a little guy, generating readership and making a few $1,000 a month, I knew that a big company could make, they probably have many more advertisers in their comics that they could get to. So it always confused me, so I'm like, I'm going to give them a shot and maybe beat them to the punch to say that Hero by Night was the first superhero icon. It beat Spider-Man, and I thought that was just an ego thing.
That was an ego thing.
Yeah,
I'm glad you recognize that.
But
But that's good.
So in 2003, I didn't launch it. I just decided that the pop culture, funny stuff was easier to do at the time. It was just like easier to produce.
Well, did you ever think also that you didn't necessarily want to do it because what if you did it and the readership wasn't as good as the funny stuff? Because people like to laugh, but they don't always necessarily like to read something serious.
At that time, I wasn't sure because I hadn't launched anything. So it was sort of a mix of what do I really want to do?
Yeah.
Am I going to have a lot of fun doing the superhero thing? Am I going to get bored of it? Or is pop culture, you just open the newspaper and find something and goof on it.
Absolutely.
So you could do that every day.
Just falling out of bed, you can do that.
Yeah, and it's easier for people to pick up on. But the hero concept and a couple other ideas I had were always in the back of my head, nagging at me, like, dude, let's put out the book, put out a one shot, and I just never got around to it until I saw the comic book challenge, and I thought I'm gonna pitch that.
Okay, now we're going to go fast forward.
Okay.
We're going to go fast forward to you who are the winner.
Okay.
Your hands are raised. You've got the great, huge trophy.
Yes.
The Stanley Cup-sized trophy over your head. You are the winner. Now, the reality sets in. Maybe the morning after, when you wake up and you're like, okay, well now I have another set of things because I actually have to do this.
Right.
So what was that experience like?
I had a vision to do more work, which was kind of insane at the time.
You are insane.
So I decided that since the story was about two people, it was about the old hero from the 50s and the new guy, that online we could launch a daily webcomic that would include the journals of the original hero, and then it would lead right into the book launch, like next week, now. And
now.
So that's completed now. We did two. So when I first won, it wasn't like I never stopped and said, I did it, hooray. I mean, it was exciting because, for one, it was a steady income. I've never been paid that much to do that. I've never been paid a standard page rate. I never really envisioned myself doing that. So that was great. That was just like hitting the lottery.
You jumped over the bar, basically. You jumped over the bar to where people were that you had known.
It wasn't like winning $1 million, but it felt like that to us. And we were very happy, my wife and I. So that was a very good feeling to know, like a little bit of security, like, wow, I'm producing something creative. It's going to pay for things. I'm pretty secure right now. And, but then the real payoff for me, like, besides that, was my kids. They don't even, they see Dad go into an office and work, and then they see some of the finished pages here and there. But when I hand them the completed book the other day, they flipped out, and they didn't know. I don't think when they read it, it hits them in little pieces. Like, wait, Dad made this.
I saw it. Oh yeah, that's it. That's right.
Yeah,
or I saw that little thing. I remember that panel or that piece of art or whatever it might be.
So and they just heard the plots and they're like, wow, that's really cool, Dad. Where can I buy that book? Like, they didn't know I was making it. So that
How old are they?
9, 8, and 5.
Well, that's great. Those are good
So
ages.
They'll be 10, 9. Yeah, it's a great age. I just found out on the phone that they just got the book the day before I left for here. And the kids took the books individually into their own classrooms. And my middle son studied the comic book club in his elementary school.
Nice.
So, I mean, that's kind of like, that feels awesome. You know?
When you can do that to your kids and inspire them in a way that not every dad can do that.
Right, and then their friends. And not only that, we live in an area where there's no comic book stores. The kids only maybe see a comic book if it's on 7-Eleven racks, or when do they go? You know, they don't see comic books. They only see what's on TV. They don't get that experience that I had when I was a kid. Pick up the comic books. So it's really energizing. It just makes you go, oh, I gotta make more. I gotta do more. I gotta make more of these kids. Turn on the ears. And then now there's a game. it's kind of mind-blowing.
Spiraling out of control. Well, that's good.
It is.
Okay, now you need to ask a question. You're not just a camera operator, you're an interviewer. So give me that camera, You need to talk to DJ Coffman.
Well, you asked most of the questions I wanted to know.
Well, that's my job.
Well, you do a good job of it.
Ask him what's next.
What's next?
We're working on more Hero by Night. This is the first 4-issue series, so it will actually be available through the comic book stores and then through July. And then after that, we'll have probably around July or August. We have to finalize a date, but we're going to continue the stories of the new guy with the ring. So there'll be a lot more Hero by Night to come. So Platinum's really interested in doing it. I guess it's been really great for them. So
Awesome.
it's excellent.
Now, has there been any... Oh,
Yeah.
have there been any ideas about translating Hero by Night into other media besides games? To kind of have a life on the screen or TV? Go for that. I'm not asking you. You ask him.
All right. I have a speech impediment, so I sit here.
Oh, don't worry.
Are there any plans to move Hero by Night into different media, such as television or movies?
Not that I'm aware of personally, but I mean that's kind of what Platinum does. So that's really exciting to know that there's even an opportunity for that to happen, and a really good opportunity. There's things with like the Flash games on the internet, things that tie in directly with the book. So they're slowly, definitely moving in that direction. I kind of feel that. So it seems like it's handmade for that type of thing. It'll be. I don't know anything about Hollywood, but I kind of imagine if I were a Hollywood person, I would be like, that's an easy sell. If you make that into an animated feature, kids will love that. Kids will love that. So that's very cool.
It's my other cub reporter.
Okay.
We've asked a whole bunch of different questions.
I'm Zach.
Nice to meet you.
There's Zach right there.
I'm Zach.
Coming up, ask a question out of the blue, anything.
Man, what have you already covered?
Probably everything.
What was your favorite activity as a kid?
I love that.
Oh, favorite activity as a kid. I used to play in the woods. I used to play G.I. Joe in the woods.
Did you ever use fireworks?
No, but I used to dig really big pits and put.
Oh, come on over. Everyone can do
Can you
this.
come from behind him?
Yeah.
What's your favorite pizza topping?
Pizza topping, pepperoni.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's
Okay, if you were a tree in the forest, what kind of tree would you want to be? That's what they always ask at the Super Bowl.
No clue.
A mighty oak?
A white oak.
A white oak.
Sure. Why not?
Excellent. A white oak. Any more questions, Zach? Come on now.
My questions, I just was curious what everybody did as a kid. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I did a lot of playing in the woods.
I built model rockets, by the way.
Awesome.
Yes, those are fun.
I got stuck in quicksand.
Oh, no way, like in Pitfall.
Like a real quicksand.
Damn.
Man, I did one of those stereotypical Mississippi things and threw a four-wheeler off a cliff and tried to pull that one up with another four-wheeler, and then that one went off too.
What did you do as a kid?
I just hung out in the woods and blew stuff up.
Blew stuff up?
Yes.
I love it. Firecrackers or M80s? Or your own homebrew?
I thought it was a quick gunpowder and
Quicksand doesn't look like quicksand. It just looks like.
homebrew.
Nice.
Nice. And you're like, whoa.
So who saved you from the quicksand?
I pulled myself out.
Oh, no,
My
that's...
friends were like, quicksand. I can't get in there. I was 11 years old.
Yeah, all his friends ran away.
All my friends were like,
I was traumatized after that. I couldn't do anything.
where's Pitfall?
That's why I turned into art, because I had to express myself. No, I'm sorry. Back to DJ.
Okay.
Oh, man. It's rocking down there.
This is like the best road.
Awesome. Okay, one final question. How was Platinum been to work with?
Great.
Yeah? Supportive?
I mean, at the Conquer Challenge, I met everybody, and they were really friendly, and I got this nice vibe from them. And then continuing to actually working with them, it's been really great. They really love comic books, and they don't stand in the way, or if you tell them a plot or a creation, or they kind of go with your instinct on the story. They do help a lot too. I think they've made parts of the story better. You know, like just little
Made some
little
suggestions, tweaks.
Yeah, right. So
Okay.
it's been very good. So.
And did you have a chance
I
to
love
meet
it.
any of the judges at the Comic-Con after the
I've
challenge?
not met. I just found out yesterday what all the judges actually thought. I never knew until yesterday. I had no clue that they all loved it.
Some of them were very strange, interesting people.
Yeah.
The guy from People, was it People Magazine?
People Magazine.
Who was the other guy who didn't like anything?
That was the People Magazine.
Was other people? Oh yeah, I was watching the replay on that, and he didn't seem to like anything. And he liked your stuff.
I guess so. That's what Scott said yesterday. So,
Nice.
So that all the people were blown away by it.
Great.
That just made me kind of sit back and go. I only had 3 hours of sleep yesterday, so hearing all this and seeing their offices and the whole.
Is that because you flew out a whole bit?
Yeah, I flew out
Oh, cool.
Pittsburgh.
If I think of anything else that I need to ask you, can I come back and ask?
Yeah.
Awesome.